Hello and welcome to an updated video about Chainlink. I'd like to talk about the Chainlink update, and we start with a snippet from the previous video 3 days ago because it had a very important message in it. Please listen to that and then we can take a look at the updated Chainlink chart. Wave 3 on the 12th of May to $5.20 whatever 8 or $5.30. We very briefly broke below the 88.7% Fibonacci level and then moved up. Here pretty much 51%, not massive, but okay. We moved down and moved up again even higher. Now this can mean we are in this WXY, which would just be a corrective wave, in a wave 2, in a wave 4. And at the moment, I'm still leaning towards that this is only a corrective wave. Why? Because we are here currently hitting exactly the target area that I gave you, I think 2 videos ago. Very important message. I was still leaning towards it only being a corrective wave with a downturn following. Anywhere in here, I would expect, if this is a WXY, a reversal to the downside. If it moves much higher, and I can give you the level in a moment. If it moves much higher, it will get likely that we are forming an impulse. Okay, so because I can also count this, and this is where it's getting interesting, I can also count this here as a first wave 1. I can count this as a wave 2. I can count this as another 1, 2. So 1, 2. But in the next wave, which would be the wave 3, then a wave 4 down and a wave 5 up. That is what I'm currently waiting for here. How high would the wave 3 need to go? And again, so very important, I was still leaning towards another move down because all we had done on the 9th of June was to hit my target area that I gave you for this wave 4. You can see we had a perfect reaction to the target area and started to move down very impulsively. So while I told you that this was one of the more interesting charts out of which an impulse could develop, we had no confirmed impulse yet. What is an impulse? An impulse is a 5-wave move. To wait for confirmation would mean we would need to wait for a completed 5-wave move, because a 3-wave move, which this is, and this was in the last video, would still indicate that we moved down lower. Unfortunately, I had someone in the last video who went all in apparently, based on my thoughts, but it is so important that you listen to what I say, because if I'm telling you that this at the moment is still only 3 waves, that I'm leaning towards this only being a corrective wave, which would be followed by a 5-wave move down, there hasn't been any confirmation yet. While out of this, a 5-wave move could develop, it hadn't yet. And this is so important for confirmation. Until we get confirmation, until we break a downtrend into an uptrend or transform it into an uptrend, the downtrend is still at play. And this is what we see playing out here. Also had someone saying tell me in the Solana videos that I confirmed apparently that the low had already been in, which I never did. 100% I never did. So it's so important to listen. Don't just go in. First of all, don't just go in because I say it anyway. Everybody needs to make their own conclusions. And don't get me wrong, that person never accused me of anything, but it's so important that you listen. If my primary expectation is still that we are going to go further down, we don't have any confirmation yet. We always want to wait for confirmation. Otherwise, it is to a degree speculation, which is fine. I mean, long term, we should see prices go up anyway. But, exactly here was the turnaround point. Here was the decision point. And then going in before we see a decision, is dangerous. Okay, so we have since then come down significantly again. Good sign is that the target was reached. Good sign is that we have seen a reaction to it, because this is still based on the primary expectation. So the primary expectation had never changed because we had never confirmation that the downtrend was over. So we are now running fast into the region of this wave 5 target area, which I think I formulated like weeks ago. So the yellow box, the big yellow box that you can see here, is or was the target area for the larger wave to finish, this overall correction to finish. And this target area was created and defined back in November, December, so 6 to 7 months ago. and we are now there. So you can see how valuable the Elliott wave method can be. Now, of course, that we are pretty much in the target area, we have to refine it. And I'm going to look at the lower level wave count, and the lower level wave count revealed then that we were going to get into this area here, which we did and turned around. So you can see again how relevant TA is. You can see how relevant the Elliott waves are. And now I think we are not far away from this area anymore. So what I can tell you now, that for this to be an impulse, it's now getting unlikely, yeah, especially due to the impulsive move down, which is happening now. And as soon as we go below the previous swing low, which would be this one at $6.17, I think it destroys all probabilities that it still is a potential impulse, which is here still unfolding. So it makes it then very likely, very unlikely, and that it makes it more likely that we're actually on our way down. I'm again still leaning, nothing has changed, still leaning towards a further downward move here into this wave 5 area, which is sitting between $2.41 and $5.34. Yeah, I'm not bothered about a few cents here, but this is how it's currently looking like. And yeah, so I'm currently waiting for this wave 5 to play out. Not a lot of price structure in here, but it's looking like that we have done a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, and might have completed a wave 1 here and waiting for a wave 2 to the upside now. But there is not a lot of price structure going on here at the moment, so I'd like to wait for the next moves. But what I can tell you now, that we've really moved down so impulsively, it again increases probabilities that we actually go into this area here, where then based on a wave 5, yeah, because this was a wave 3, this was a wave 4 that had never changed, even though the chart was looking interesting, but it had never changed because we never had confirmation of a beginning of an uptrend due to, for example, a 5-wave move. This is still then the wave 5 that is going to come, yeah, and that's still what I'm waiting for. That's still what we're waiting for, and nothing has changed in a sense. So what is important now, that level, very important, previous swing low will be support. Now that we've broken that swing low, it's likely that we're going to see this swing low at $6.19, $6.20, and when we break below that, I think that will further accelerate the downturn all the way down to the wave 3 low, which is at $5.30, which is actually where this target area begins. So just adjust it down a little bit. And then, yeah, we are going to get into this. And then as soon as we make a lower low compared to the wave 3, this will then be the fulfillment of this shorter time frame Elliott wave count, 3, 4, 5, where we would make a lower low, which would then give us another chance to turn around and go back into an uptrend. Technically already here in this larger area, I mean, bear in mind, we've been talking about these prices 6 to 7 months ago. So from my point of view, the scenario is fulfilled already. We just wait now for confirmation that the uptrend can be beginning again. And at the moment, there is simply no confirmation yet. So just have a bit of patience, yeah. And even if you have to wait a few more dollars to wait for confirmation, I mean, I'm telling you that. If you wait for a few more dollars, even if we go above $12, you need to wait for confirmation or something. The target for the next larger wave up, I mean, that will be massive. If we talk about this being a wave 1, the all-time high, this currently being a larger wave 2, where we get into this region between the 88.7 and the 78.6% fib level, then the next wave up would be a wave 3, and the wave 3 should go at least to the 1.618 Fibonacci extension, and that would take us to at least round about $90. Yeah, if we make a new all-time high, then this would be the most likely level, but the minimum $93. So doesn't in the end make a massive difference, and it's up to you if you want to wait for confirmation or not. But in the current market conditions, confirmations are, if you're interested in a short-term trade, confirmation is important. If you're not bothered about another lower low, which if you watch my videos are very likely, then of course dollar cost averaging in is probably an interesting option for you. If you do it, in the end you have to decide it. I can tell you I am dollar cost averaging in with my buy orders that channel members can see on Discord, and now I have to probably define new buy orders as the I think the last ones have been triggered now for some cryptos already. But then again, how low do you want to keep dollar cost averaging in? That's also another question that everybody has to answer for themselves. But I can tell you we're not yet in confirmation mode to the upside, and that move down here rather confirms to me that we are going to see something similar to here, yeah, where we also moved up quite strongly, which we did here, but only a 3-wave move. On the daily chart, you can see it even clearer, 3-wave move, like here, A, B, C, and then we moved down even stronger impulsively to the downside. That is how it is currently looking for me, but confirmation for that would only be obtained below that, that previous swing low I gave you here, below $6.20. All right, so hopefully that clears it up. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.